Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking the hidden architecture of songwriting. We're going to break down how a truly skilled artist can use lyrics and instrumentation not just to carry a catchy melody, but to construct a distinct psychological space. And to do that, we are diving deep into a true 1990s masterpiece. So let's kick things off with a question that actually sparked a massive discussion online recently. It's a pretty simple prompt, but it cuts right to the core of why we even listen to music in the first place. What is the most beautiful or heartbreaking lyric you have ever heard? The responses to this were honestly a testament to the universal power of lyrics to articulate feelings that, well, we sometimes just can't put into words ourselves.
In that popular forum thread, people brought up some incredibly poignant lines, like this legendary snippet from Pink Floyd's Time. When you really take in those words, you can see exactly how a songwriter captures the terrifying, blink-and-you-miss-it acceleration of aging. It shows how words can anchor our deepest, most existential emotions, capturing a completely universal anxiety in just a couple of perfectly crafted lines.
And then other folks pointed to bands like Alice in Chains, who use their lyrics to capture profound, almost overwhelming pain and isolation. Looking at these lines from Nutshell, we're primed to appreciate the craft of a truly great songwriter. You see, they aren't just writing words to fill the beat. They're literally crafting a mirror for our own frustrations, our sadness, and our sanctuaries.
Section 1, Tales returns to vinyl, revisiting a 1995 classic.
Okay, the year is 1995. Now, to really grasp the artistic statement we're about to explore, we gotta set the scene. This was the year Lisa Loeb literally made music history. Thanks to the film Reality Bites, her acoustic track, Stay, I Missed You, just skyrocketed to the top of the charts. That made her the very first unsigned artist to ever top the Billboard Hot 100. It was an absolutely unprecedented cultural moment for sure, but it also threatened to pigeonhole her as just a quiet, coffeehouse acoustic act. Well, recently, Geffen Records announced a special 1LP reissue of her debut album, Tales, pressed on this gorgeous pink vinyl. And honestly, this gives us the absolute perfect excuse to re-examine her artistry. Because when we look past her initial acoustic association with Stay, we find an album born out of a massive bidding war that intentionally showcased a much wider and wildly impressive musical range. Section 2. Taffy, the rock evolution, electric guitars, and half-truths. We're going to start our doodle case study by looking at the album's third single, Taffy. And the sheer brilliance of this song is actually hiding right there in the title. Because Taffy isn't about candy at all. It's about relational deceit. Loeb takes the laborious, sticky process of pulling and stretching molten sugar and applies it to a conversation with a habitual liar. She sings, "Sometimes you tell the truth, like you're pulling taffy." It just perfectly captures how extracting honesty from someone who manipulates the truth is a sticky, reluctant, and completely exhausting process. It's a brilliant way to turn a mundane childhood image into a super sharp interpersonal critique. And check out how she constructs the verses. The lyrics build this narrative of accusation through physical progression. It starts with a bruise on a friend's leg, escalates to an elbow on the arm, then a finger on the ribs, until the friend's ribcage is completely numb. Now, these aren't descriptions of violence. They're those covert, physical nudges of solidarity you give a friend when someone in the room is flat out lying. It's that silent, under-the-table communication calling out a fabrication. The tension in the song builds exactly as the frustration with the liar builds.
Loeb completely matched this aggressive, pushback energy in the lyrics with a punchy pop rock sound. When she was out promoting Taffy on major late-night TV shows like Leno and Conan, she didn't bring an acoustic guitar. No way. She wielded a fuzzed-out vintage Gibson Les Paul Jr. She was intentionally and confidently claiming her space as a rock frontwoman, showing off her band 9 Stories' electric energy and pushing back hard against industry expectations. Section 3. Sandalwood. The intimate anchor, a sanctuary from the noise.
But see, the true magic of Tales is its duality. Doing a total 180 from the energetic, electric frustration of Taffy, we hit another standout track, Sandalwood. This song is built entirely on contrast. On one side, you've got the external noise. Loeb uses theatrical metaphors, talking about the audience, the critics, the theater, to describe that hypercritical, judging outside world where we all feel anxious and under a microscope. But then, on the other side, you have internal safety. The song is ultimately about finding a private sanctuary with a partner whose mere presence completely mutes that chaotic external judgment. The lyrics bring this safe bubble to life. There's some deeply sensory grounding. Think about the lines. Your skin smells lovely like sandalwood. Your hair falls soft like animals. I mean, sandalwood is such a distinct, warm, woody, rich scent, right? And here it acts as an intimate anchor. By focusing on this incredibly specific, comforting physical detail of her partner, the overwhelming noise of society and the pressure of being on stage just entirely fall away.
Musically, Sandalwood is just the perfect counterweight to Taffy. It completely swaps the electric fuzz and rock drums for this gentle acoustic arpeggio and a really tender vocal delivery. It serves as a quiet, hidden gem in her catalog. It is truly an acoustic anthem for introverted love, capturing that beautiful feeling when filtering out the overwhelming world and focusing entirely on your partner is quite literally the only thing that matters. Section 4. A Lasting Musical Legacy, The Duality of Tales.
So, this dual approach, it was an absolute objective success. Tales wasn't just a flash in the pan. The record peaked at number 30 on the Billboard 200, and it was officially certified gold by the RIAA. It proved once and for all she wasn't just some 90s trend or a one-hit wonder tied to a movie soundtrack. She masterfully bridged her indie roots with massive pop accessibility by perfectly balancing these two sides, the public electric aggression of tracks like Taffy and the private acoustic tenderness of songs like Sandalwood. To wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with a thought, kind of a provocative one, about how we actually consume music. When you put on a record, maybe even that pink vinyl reissue of Tales, which of these two artistic approaches do you find yourself connecting with more? Do you prefer your music to be a loud, fuzzed-out mirror of your daily frustrations? Or do you actively seek out a quiet, acoustic sanctuary to escape the noise?